Shalom.
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 This is Awako Israel Ministries. Here on going into the Sabbath for this week. We got another good chapter breakdown. We do thank and praise the Most High, Ahayah, through Yashayah and the Ruach Kudash, the Holy Spirit.
All praises to the Most High, Brother Josh. Thank you for viewing in again. We're really, really blessed that we have hungry souls, hungry spirit that are tuning in and listening to truth. And that's what we're about. Right, Josh? We can prove all things.
So,
thank you for viewing in.
Before we go into our chapter night for tonight,
Revelation, chapter 10.
Revelation 10 out there. Make sure you follow us. Hold on, let me get it up here.
I know many have been blessed last night. We had a good response to the Great Tribulation and who is really in the Great Tribulation. So if you're listening every Friday and Saturday, keep tuning in. We're hoping to have a building soon, a hall we can rent. So we can invite a lot of our viewers that are listening in Jacksonville area. It's all about learning, my brothers and sisters. It's all about knowing who you are. And it's important, very important.
It is. So I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to start with an 11-minute clip. And so I can keep track of time. 11 minutes. And we're going to start with a 11-minute clip.
Tells me so, little ones to him belong. They are weak, but he is
Now,
strong.
this song is not even in the Bible.
Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible
Christians were the
tells me
cause
so.
for millions and millions of people to die, Josh.
By
So-called
1914, only two countries remained outside European possession, Liberia in the west and Ethiopia in the east. Britain had seized the lion's share of control. Egypt and the Sudan in the north, the immense wealth of South Africa, valuable colonies like Rhodesia and Kenya, and richly populated territories such as Nigeria and the Gold Coast. France had invaded Algeria in the 1830s. Now, after new wars of conquest, she added more colonies to her empire south of the Sahara, including the island of Madagascar. Little Portugal carved out two vast colonies, Angola and Mozambique, while Imperial Germany took the Cameroons and southwest Africa, and on the east coast, Tanganyika. The vast Congo basin fell to King Leopold of the Belgians. Italy and Spain completed the enclosure. The fate of the continent was utterly changed. Between the colonizing powers themselves, the carve-up was peaceful, but their rivalry was intense. In 1884, a Congress of the competing governments met in Berlin to settle their disputes. Germany's Iron Chancellor Bismarck was there. And active behind the scenes was the ambitious Belgian king. He spoke for them all when he said, "I am determined to get my share of this magnificent African cake." Any power that could occupy African soil could effectively claim it. Now the task was to stake out frontiers in utterly uncharted land. Said the French Prime Minister, "We have embarked on a gigantic steeplechase into the unknown." The British Prime Minister, Lord Salisbury, was to say of this period, "We've been engaged in drawing lines on maps where no man's foot has ever trod. We've been giving away mountains and rivers and lakes to each other, only hindered by the small impediment that we never knew exactly where we were." The great game was to get hold of places and positions of advantage over rivals, no matter what irrational
Nothing new under the
consequences
sun,
might result.
Josh. taking
One
land
of the
that don't
most
belong to
absurd
them.
cases was the magnificent Gambia
Nothing
River.
new, Tony. I'm into something.
Britain had long held Bathurst, Banjul today, and was determined to keep this river route to the interior. But France, invading from the west coast, enclosed all the territory surrounding the Gambia River in her new colony of Senegal. So the French were naturally eager to obtain the Gambia River. They offered Britain, in exchange, the much larger.
So they haven't just raped and pillaged in America, they've done it all over the earth. So continue to listen and see what the governments, how these governments of the world have gotten all this immense wealth.
And it's all run by one big
and
family, the
richer
bankers.
Ivory Coast. But the British Parliament insisted on keeping the Gambia, thus dividing the peoples of the region. And the result was, and is, a country that is 300 miles long, but never more than 30 miles wide. What the African inhabitants might think of this colonial carve-up was never asked. The European idea, in the words of one British governor, was to seize African territory and then, as much as possible, rule the country as if there were no inhabitants.
Okay. All right. Does that sound familiar to you, folks?
In fact, European
to
contempt for
America?
Africans now reached new depths.
What they did
And
to
no
the American
wonder.
Indians and the
For how
Afro-Americans?
otherwise than by asserting that Africans were helpless children, lazy savages, could Christian Europe justify taking their countries
Christian
away
Europe.
from them?
Christian Europe. Go ahead, Josh. Clear
Now listen to this. Wherever they go, they always make sure they set up their pagan, their
pagan religion.
satanic religion with their church and religious system.
That's right.
That's very important. They've done the same thing they've done here in America with excuse me, sorry, to the 10 tribes they did in Africa.
That's right, Josh.
Wherever they go, after they conquer a place, they always set up their religious system,
They
education
throw
system.
an evil temple wherever they conquer a land, and that's where they want these people to be brainwashed into their religion. And if you don't think Christianity is a brainwashed religion, well, you've got some research to do, my friends.
Well, let's keep listening and learn and listen and learn.
That's right.
The helpless children, meanwhile, sang their own version of a famous hymn. Onward, Christian soldiers, into heathen lands, prayer books in your pockets, rifles in your hands. Take the happy tidings where trade can be done. Spread the peaceful gospel with the Gatling gun. The European invasions were widely resisted. Conquest was never easy.
And you sing these churches in the songs in your churches, and you don't even realize what you're singing. You're singing about mass murder.
Killing that later
Onward, Christian
generations
murderer,
would prefer to
soldier,
forget.
marching as for war. Yeah,
There's your Christians.
there's your Christians.
The European Christians
With the
have
Hebrews' head on the
always
pole.
used religion to subjugate people and steal their land.
That's right, brother. Come on.
The history
They
that
are preaching with the
Stop.
Bible.
the history and the facts that have been hidden from people,
Right.
but it's going to be revealed through the Spirit of the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
On one hand and a gun in the other.
So I think one of the fundamental reasons why Europeans, in general, the European intelligentsia, scholars and academics, why they deny Africa, their history, you know, from ancient Egypt all the way through to kind of the major empires from Mali and, you know, and Kush and all those kind of things, is because of the fact that if you accept that these groups of people were responsible for your ascent into history, your ascent into what is known as civilization, then how the hell can you justify enslaving them? And that's part of the problem, is the fact that you've enslaved, you've tortured, you've committed innumerable acts of genocide on the same people that put you in the position that you are in, scientifically, philosophically, academically, and culturally, and linguistically, whichever way you kind of want to look at it.
Christopher Columbus was a Christian. He thought it was a blessing to be able to rape young girls and subjugate people to slavery. It was Christians that instituted the slave trade. The very first thing they decided to do was take slaves when they got here. Why? Because they were too weak to build their own country. They took Africans as slaves and brought them to this country and killed most of them. And those that didn't die, they treated horribly, using the scriptures to justify their wickedness.
That's right.
They would quote scriptures like, servants, obey in all things your master. The slave masters were all Christians. Now, I believe in the Messiah of the scripture, the Son of the Most High God. I teach the scriptures. I believe in the receiving of the Spirit with the evidence of the gifts of the Spirit. However, I refuse to call myself a Christian. Christians need to do their research and look at what they're calling themselves.
Okay, good.
Now, this should be enough to make all Christians everywhere research the history of their religion.
That's right, brother.
It should make them start to seek the Most High for the truth. Did the Messiah, Yahushua, say, they that worship me must worship me in spirit and truth? So we want the spirit. We don't want the truth.
Right, that's right. That's the Christian church. I'm always in the spirit, but
the
no truth.
Transatlantic slave trade.
Come on, brother.
It was the so-called Christians that enslaved and killed more than 100 million blacks. The early presidents owned several slaves and justified their evil actions using the Bible.
And that servant, which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes.
Stop 1 second, stop. Now check this out. Check this out. These white slave owners, they knew who these people are. They knew who they were. That's why they used those scriptures against them.
So that concludes the 11 minutes of clip. And before we go into the lesson, I'll make a couple remarks about
We're going to come back to some more
information that we just heard. Let me make some remarks on this. Let me set up my next clip I want to show after we do our breakdown. Anyway, so hold on. Before we go into the chapter, I'll put us back on for a second.
Awesome.
So,
okay, thanks.
Wherever Esau goes politically, he always sets up his religious education system to keep the people that he conquers leaning to him for salvation, or leaning to him at least for deliverance.
That's right. That's right. Clear the air, Josh.
So what we have learned is hold on. So what we have learned is this. Esau has never taught the truth to anybody. Wherever he sets up his education system, his education and his religious system will always lie to defend him and keep the truth that he suppressed hidden.
Let me say something real quick. everywhere you go now in America and through the world, you see their religious system set up. Churches, colleges, religious colleges, seminaries, those are all set up to keep you docile and unlearned.
Okay, so before we go into Revelation 10,
let's do it. Let's do it. It's a short chapter, Josh. This way we can show more pics today.
Okay.
Revelation 10, every chapter in Revelation. When I first started going to church.
We don't have to show it on the screen.
Yeah.
Read Psalms 10, verse.
Okay.
Go to Psalms 10 and 7. Everyone, Psalms 10 and 7 is going to give us a little more biblical context to what we're saying. We must always answer every question or every
by
thought
the word
and finish it with the scriptures.
That's right. That's right. 10 what? 7, Josh?
10 and 10.
7.
Start with 6.
All right. Psalms 10, 6. He has said in his mind, his heart, I shall not be moved.
So since Esau has dominated the earth, he has deceived himself into believing that his kingdom will never end. Read.
For I shall never be in adversity.
Since I've conquered the world, who can stop me from deceiving and pretty much what I have always
listen to the arrogancy
done.
The arrogancy of this system. That's what it is. His mouth is full of cursing.
So every word that he speaks is false. It's a curse. Read.
And deceit and fraud.
And so he frames deceit and fraud, and then he teaches it through his system. So his education and his religious system is his mouth to the people.
That's right. That's right, Josh.
Read.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
So emptiness and mischief.
That's right.
And he uses his lies to counter himself from criticism of what he's done in history.
All right. That's it.
Read.
He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
So he gets the best vantage points to his intelligence.
Right.
Read.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
So he kidnaps people.
Spiritually too. That's right. Come on.
And he kills them.
That's
and
right.
also he looks for the best, the secret places, the ghettos, where no one else wants to go, and he sends his police force.
This is the new.
His police in there to kill innocent Hebrews, innocent Israelites.
Yeah, this is the new form of slavery.
Read.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent.
How would you feel if someone? Now, this is information for so-called white people listening. How would you feel if someone sat back for years and watched your every movement and plotted you out?
How would you like it?
And then they used all their knowledge not to help you.
That's right.
Proceed or advance as a group, but they used all their knowledge from observing you to keep you down, to lie to you, to keep you, to suppress you. How would you feel if they used their knowledge of your love of music to enslave, to debauch your society, your women, turn them into prostitutes and whores?
How would you like?
How would you feel if they used drugs that they control and paint you as the drug addict and the drug dealer? How would you feel if they used guns, which they put in your neighborhoods, so you can slaughter each other on white on white crime and blame you for being the murderer? How would you feel if they set up churches and make you look like buffoons on TV for everyone to laugh at? How would you feel if they systematically use the knowledge that they have against you to destroy your homes and make your young daughters turn into whores and get pregnant at a young age, only to go to their abortion clinics to kill their babies? put
yourself in their shoes.
Before you criticize black about what they're saying, and put yourself in the shoes of the people
that have been destroyed.
Read.
No, that's good, Josh. Go ahead, brother.
Before you try to be their moral judge, listen and really consider what they say.
His eyes are privately set against the poor.
See, as white people, privately, we don't have someone's system set against us to keep us suppressed. We can ascend as high as we want based on the color of our skin, not on our education. There is no reason for any white person in this nation to be poor. Any white person can become rich like that because you have the color for exception. But if you don't have the color for exception, you're cursed to be poor, and unless you sell out to your oppressor, and
that's right,
and debauch yourself with his system and use this system to kill your people with it. Read.
He lied in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lied in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor. When he draweth him into his net, he croucheth and humbleth himself. That the poor, you know what? When that means he humbled himself, he acts like he's a what do you call it?
He acts like
good person.
He acts like he's innocent.
Right. Awesome, Josh. That the poor may fall by his strong.
So he makes himself look like he's one of you to gain your trust and turns on you.
That's right. Wow, that's the devil himself. He has said in his mind, I have forgotten.
That's in the past. That doesn't happen
Come on,
anymore.
brother.
We don't target you anymore.
Yeah, that's the past.
Read.
He hideth his face. He will never see it.
Stop. Now let's go to Revelation 10. Again,
Revelation 10, verse 1.
Think about it. Think about how it would make someone feel if they were systematically targeted for centuries, and again, we're still looking to acquire some more books so we can help explain this, because wherever there's a lack of want of knowledge, there's information, right?
That's right.
And there's no price on good learning.
No price.
Go and get, if you all can get
really
there,
good library right here in our home.
Look up post-traumatic slave syndrome, and we're gonna hopefully
try to get that book this month.
So,
what's the other one, Josh?
The Pagan Book of Days.
Wow, the Pagan.
So, explain what we bring more deeply.
Let me say something, Josh. If you have the courage and the will in your spirit to learn with us, we're going to come into some knowledge more and more as these days pass, especially about America and all their lying holidays and everything else that they try to throw at people. Okay, we love you. All right, Revelation 10, verse 1. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. Now, a cloud is a chariot. And a rainbow was upon his head. And his face, and we can prove that in Ezekiel, and his face was as it were the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that therein are, and the earth and the things that therein are,
So what is this referring back to? Let's go to the precept. Genesis 2:1.
Genesis 2:1.
We're in verse 4.
Right.
Genesis 2:1.
Okay, Genesis 2:1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished.
Now, we just read this in Revelation 10:4, right?
That's right.
When the angel praised the Most High for his creation. Read.
And all the host of them. And on the seventh day.
And on the what day?
Seventh day.
On Sunday.
Seventh day.
Sunday.
Seventh day.
Read.
Ahayah ended his work.
He kept working.
He ended his work.
No, it's done away with.
He ended his work which he had made. And he rested.
He what?
He rested.
He worked.
He rested. He burdened himself.
He what?
He rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Ahayah blessed the seventh.
What did he do?
And the most power blessed the seventh day.
In other words, that's verse 3, right?
Right.
Let's get a better understanding of what that means, right?
What, Josh?
It means
Barak. Well, Barak.
To bless, consecrate.
Set apart.
So he consecrated or blessed.
That's right. He
the seventh day.
And set it apart from any day. There is no such thing, listeners, as Sunday being a holy day. It is not and never will be. Constantine changed that. No man is permitted to change the Bible.
Right. Read.
Okay. Revelation 4, right?
Hold on.
No.
Revelation 10:4.
No, we're further than that. We're down in 6. And the things that therein are, and the earth, and the things that therein are, and the sea, and the things that are therein, that there should be time no longer. But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Ahayah should be finished.
So the mystery of God is what? The sealing of his people, right? And what else?
When he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Ahayah should be finished, as he had declared to his servants, the prophets.
So what is this mystery? Hold on. Go to Joel.
Let's go to Joel.
Joel 3. And let's see what this mystery that he's going to complete. Joel 3, right?
Hold on. All right, let's see what the mystery is. Joel 3.
3:1.
For behold, Joel 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Yehuda and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, not rapture, gather, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
So the Most High is going to gather all these nations, read.
And will plead with them there for my people.
For what?
For my people.
For everybody.
For my people.
No, John 3:16, he loves everybody.
For my people and for my heritage.
My what?
My heritage.
Everyone's heritage.
My heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Look at that. The land is parted in Israel. And they have cast lots for my people.
They have what?
Cast lots.
They have what?
Cast lots.
So they have sold my people as slaves. Read.
Come on. and have given a boy for a harlot.
So the slave masters would rape boys as well.
And sold a girl for wine.
So they would sell slaves for rum, alcohol, gunpowder, guns, jewelry, whatever they could sell for.
That they may drink.
That they may enjoy the fruits of their evil.
Their evil is right.
Read.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon?
Tyre and Sidon are Arab-controlled places, so these are what we would call Arabs right now, right?
That's right. And all the coast of Palestine?
Again, Palestine is Arab. So Arabs or Africans at that time would have had a big deal with this transatlantic slave trade. We know the dealings that Israel has always been moved away from their land.
That's
but
right.
Christ is coming back to
gather,
to fix that
and bring them
in
back.
balance.
Wow. Awesome.
Read.
Will ye render me a recompense? If ye recompense.
So what is
me,
a recompense?
A payback. They mad at him. They want to pay back for him something that he didn't do to them. Right, Tom?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's what it means, Josh. You don't have to go to it.
Just
recompense. Pay back like a debt or something that you did wrong. You have to pay back somebody.
Recompense means a benefit, a reward.
Actually,
requital.
Right, requital. That's it.
So the Most High. Now again, when we brought our lesson about the Great Tribulation, and we read in what you call it, in the book of Leviticus chapter 6, where it talks about the recompense, or when you would steal something or rob someone something,
you would give back and it would be even.
No,
you would make a deal with
you would give back, and you would have to pay back 5 times what you paid, what you gave in you would have to give reparations to the stolen individual that you robbed from.
Wow, look at what America owes the black people in this country, Josh.
5 times.
Wow, man. Billions, huh?
Trillions.
Wow. Wow.
So
no way, recompense is coming. It's
there
coming.
will be a repayment.
Oh yeah, there'll be a repayment. And it's soon, brothers, sisters, it's soon.
So recompense, and if they recompense me, speedily will I return and recompense upon your head.
Wow. Upon your own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have cast and have carried into your temples, your evil temples, my goodly, pleasant things.
So in other words, not only did they take the wealth, they took the knowledge, the scrolls and the information. So places like the Vatican and all the prestigious academies and universities in the earth have this knowledge the real knowledge that they have, they don't teach. The stupid knowledge, they want to brainwash everyone they give you. Evolution, monkeys to humans and all that stuff. They give you the dumb knowledge for the sheeple, but they keep the real information that they've had for 2,000 years.
Tribes, if you're listening tonight, hold on, I want you to hear this, Josh. If you're listening tonight, I'm warning you, I'm telling you from my heart, from my spirit and love, that if you keep listening to these modern day pastors telling you that the Old Testament is done away with, they're only doing that so you don't find out who you are.
Read.
Okay. So
that's right, Dad.
Tell them again, Josh. If you listen to these pastors, tell them, Josh, telling you that the Old Testament is done away with, they're doing that, I'll say it again, to hide your identity from you. You're only supposed to be in the spirit.
Right, read.
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Uh-huh.
The children of Yehuda and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
So start that verse again. So the main sin that these nations have done,
come on,
is the selling or
taking,
the enslavement
without
and the
asking.
reselling
That's right.
of the children of Israel to the Grecians. Who are the Grecians? The Grecians are your modern day European powers.
That's right. That ye might remove them far from their border. And you did.
Go back to Revelation 10.
Okay, Revelation 10.
We'll just finish Revelation.
That's right. That's right. We're into what, 8 now?
Is everyone learning?
Yeah.
So we have to learn the knowledge of the Most High. The knowledge of the Bible
right.
makes you wiser than any university can
That's
ever
right.
make you.
Verse 8, Revelation 10. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel. Which,
so the book of life.
That's right.
Meaning the book that has the book of life
The
and
knowledge.
And also the other books that have all the
books.
The books of life and the other
servants, prophets, Psalms, that's right. And angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth, and I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up. Or Ezekiel, and it shall make thy belly bitter. That's in Ezekiel. And it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book.
It makes you bitter because when you learn how wicked and
you get bitter, your soul,
you get grieved.
You get grieved.
But it becomes sweet because then you realize what you as a people have coming to you.
Wow. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter, because I had to speak again, Josh. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy. See, I just said it. Thou must prophesy again before many people, right, Tony? Nations, tongues. Okay.
So in other words, the scriptures still, and this is what it's the Great Awakening, that the scriptures just prophesied in Hosea 6:1. Actually, go to Hosea 6:1. Let's read of the awakening in the Bible. What is the awakening according to Scripture?
It's not Christianity, I'm telling you right now.
Let's see what the Scripture says the awakening is. Right?
That's right.
What does the Bible say? That's what I want to know.
That's right. Let's see what the Bible says about the awakening.
According to the Bible.
Come on, brother. Clear the air, Josh.
Hosea 6:1.
Ready? Hosea 6:1. The Most High, for he hath torn, and he will heal us. He hath smitten, and he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us. In the third day he will raise us up.
So the third day is right now, and the 2 days speaking of 2,000 years. So to go with what we just read, pretty much, the Most High is going to revive his people with the knowledge of themselves.
Come on.
After 2,000 years of Christ, after Christ has left.
All right.
It's been 2,000 years, and what have we been seeing?
That's right.
The resurrection of the tree.
Wow.
The resurrection of the lion to its full of its place of
authority,
a knowledge and power.
All right.
So now, that's our.
And we shall live in his sight.
We shall live because we will know who we are.
Stop. Oh, stop there. Okay.
So stop.
All right. So now we're gonna. I hope you were blessed with Revelation 10. Actually, saints, who's ever listening, I'm talking to the Hebrews first, all right, and then the Gentiles, because you're welcomed in as long as you're keeping the Sabbath, right, Tony? You're keeping the holy days, right, Tony?
Yep.
All right, the feast days. We have an outside chance to make it now. Corinthians says, if the righteous, the law keepers and Christ, scarcely make it in, where is the sinner going to appear? Doesn't 2 John say, for sin is the transgression of the law?
Okay, what we're going to do, let me get my timer again.
I'd love to stay in chat, but you're
And we're going to do 11 minutes of clip. And we're going to start now.
Saying, keep this commandment. This was Moses speaking to his people. So how did this come around to agenda 21, you might ask?
Okay.
I'm going to show you. Read Deuteronomy 28.
Was she hit her head, Tony?
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1.
Oh, what was that?
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
We're getting blessed, Tony. This is great. I love Revelation. It's really a simple book, folks.
Read.
You got to know who you're reading about. That's all it is.
And to do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
If you follow those commandments contained in the Bible.
Come on.
Read.
Wow,
That
I
the
just said
Most High
this.
thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
The Most High God of the universe, Ahayah, promised his people that
That's
if they
you.
follow
See
his
what he's
commandments,
showing you?
he
What we're
would set
preaching?
them on high.
Those are your
above
people. You're
all
Judah.
people
You're
on
Yehuda.
the face of the earth. But something happened.
Come on, Brother Ricardo.
Okay, yes. This was conditioned. Yes. But for condition. It had conditions with this stipulation. Israel just wasn't going to get the promises without stipulation. That's why he says, if you follow the commandments, I will set you on high. I will back you with everything you do. I will be behind you, Israel, because you are.
I now listen, Brother Ricardo, I'll never rebut him because this is a great man of the Most High. But I just want to add something in there. Josh and me, we rebutted Creflo Dollar. You know what he was telling his people? That he knows they're all Judah in there, and he's lying to them. He told them that Israel couldn't keep the law. What a lie. They didn't want to keep the law. You heard Ricardo. Go ahead, Josh. Go ahead.
On my people. But what if Israel decided to follow the gods of the other nations? Go down to the 15th verse.
Verse 15.
Read it.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
If you don't listen to me, this is what their God told them. This is the same God who parted the Red Sea and had his people walk on dry shod, had a cloud that protected them by day, and a pillar of fire by night to give them light.
Look what you lost out on, Hebrews. Look what you lost out on.
The Most High at the mount was protecting his people. Read.
But it shall come to pass.
But it shall come to pass, future prophecy.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power.
If you don't listen to what I'm showing you, this is what God is telling his people. Read.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
That all these curses will overcome you people and overtake you.
Today.
So there's curses concerning the children of Israel. Why didn't Pastor Manning or any other pastor out there read these curses? Why can you read, how can you read the curse of Canaan through Ham, which was actually instituted through your theologian, your Roman Catholic dogma to brainwash you into believing you were someone else? How can you hold to that and not read these curses? You think Canaan was the only man cursed out of black people? That's your deception. Everyone else knows except us. Everyone else. And it's to a point where our people don't want to know. We really don't want to know as a people. So think of that.
It's true.
They can do these agendas because our people have brought into their agenda. We have bought into their corporations. So when they have this map showing how many people they're going to kill and all that, these are people who believe in the system. These are people who don't want to come back to the Most High. These are people who believe America will go on forever and that there was always wars.
If you're listening, you got to get ready. I'm telling you, it's going to fall apart. This country
continue and America will stand, and the world will stand.
Tell them
you are sadly mistaken. Why? Because Satan has no more use for you. He has no more use. He doesn't build his
we're spent, right, Josh?
He has built his
right off.
He had built his world army, the UN Army. He no longer needs the United States Army anymore. That's just more eugenics. They're recruiting you in, and those recruiters are actually getting an extra $500 a month to get you behind in these armies. They recruit you in for eugenics to kill you. Either you're going to die through the vaccination, or you're going to die at battle.
There you go. That's right.
You think the Rockefellers, the George Bushes, the Kerrys, the Rothschilds, you think any of their children are on the front lines fighting in these wars? So all the people who believe in this system will fall with this system. All the people who believe in Babylon will fall with Babylon. Because the Most High is awakening his people. And that's all over the earth. I can see it as well as clear as I've ever seen it.
That's good.
And this awakening is happening everywhere. It's happening in Asia, Indonesia, Africa. It's happening in the Middle East. It's happening over in South America. It's happening everywhere. But now their agenda, they must actually put their agenda on fast track.
Oh, yeah, they got to move fast now.
They are afraid that those who are not afraid will come together. And that's a lesson in itself. But let's go further into the curses. Deuteronomy 28, read the 15th, read the 16th verse.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Even in the field, every place you go. Either in the city we curse, when we go out, when we was in the south, working in the field, we were cursed. Read.
Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
The basket in thy store is your finance. How many of you really have savings, or you just working week to week? That's systematic programming also.
Money spent before you got it. Right, Josh?
Our people was never meant to serve anybody.
That's right.
We was never meant to be working for these corporations and working for Satan's world. We weren't built. We weren't made for that. We were made to rule. We were made to rule. Some serious programming happened to us, right? You bet. It's a curse to have to work in the field. It's a curse that you have to work 8, 10, 12 hours and not enjoy life, not enjoy the earth the Most High made for us, to make you think you have arrived because you got a job. You are a slave.
Yeah, come on.
It's systematic. They just change the conditions through psychology. They know that sooner or later the hard bondage would get under our skin. The hard bondage wasn't working no more. So they had to transition it with a more, what you would call public relations type slavery. And a slavery in which we would feel good. So they moved the slavery from the fields and they switched it from plantations to corporations. So now you can look good with a nice haircut or a nice hairstyle with clothes on and you know, nice clothes. And they'll even give you a position as a head house Negro or house person to be over the whole team. Same concept, but really they're saving. Because during back times when we were serving slavery, think about it. Your master had to keep you nice. He had to keep you strong so you could work. He had to deal with your health care and pay the doctor. He had to make sure your teeth was clean and all those things. So all those things were paid by plantation. Now they move those things into corporate packages. So now you're not trying to run from the plantation because you think you're free. You think you've been emancipated. You think the only thing they did was expand the captivity and allow you to believe that you were part of a growing system. When really the system was set up. Let me tell you, you think the nations of this earth don't know these curses? No way they're going to let the children of Israel free. Are you kidding me? They're going to squeeze every inch, every ounce out of God's people until the Most High come and save them. Why? Because they figure this their time to rule. So how are they going to let you just go run free? Now that we are systematically waking up to this and understanding we've been programmed at every stage, and it's still the same game of destruction and genocide, they have no choice now but to go back to hard bondage. National Defense Authorization Act. Let's lock people up indefinitely and have them work in these work camps. Since they don't want to deal with our new brand of slavery, let's put them back in bondage. And they're going to have your pastors and your preachers be the Pied Piper of this program, ratting out and killing and destroying their own people. And then after that, they get a bullet in their head. That's how that works. And who's going to bring it to you? Your government. Not the people ain't trying to destroy Noah. Same thing happened in World War II under Hitler. The people that was helping the government round people up and destroy people, at the very end, they got a bullet in their head by the government, which betrayed them. Same exact thing. We know they're going to cut off the internet. We know they're going to cut off all this. But you know, we don't care. We're going to let it all out right now.
All right. Hold on.
Let's go to something else. Let's hear something else. See, this is a modern day slavery that Brother Acaad is talking about. He's right. They'll give you clothes. They'll give you a job. They'll give you a little prestige here and there, but they will never let you rise above because they're going to rule now until Christ comes. But the curses of Deuteronomy can come off you. They can, spiritually and physically, if you come back to the Most High and keep his Sabbaths and keep his laws. Stop eating that junk pork. Stop eating that shellfish. Treat your body right. Take care of yourself. And get out of that religion, that Christianity that's holding you down. And that's holding you back. They'll tell you anything in those temples to keep you in there.
These dancing lights around me are produced.
And start time now.
Make a picture bigger. What's this stuff? But this is something new we're showing. See, now the first thing they see is this, well, you know, that's not everybody. But it's all over America. Why is it still all over America? If we're such a rich nation, where are all your sports heroes that have money? How come they're not putting money back in the communities where they're from? What about that? It don't count?
Another girl fight video that's gone viral.
This one's very upsetting. It's from Brooklyn, and it appears to show an unprovoked attack on an innocent woman. And as Fox 5's Dan Bowens tells us,
arrests and fights inside a Mesquite Mall tonight. We're getting a better idea of what happened at Town East Mall early this morning. YouTube video showed it all. You can see people throwing weeds and trash cans at each other as several fights broke out.
As they're chased by police. This morning, crowd control was needed at a Houston mall. Hundreds of people were lined
does the Most High want your people fighting with each other like this? This is all planned by the government. This is all set up for tension, animosity. Right, Tony? Dissension, tension, unemployment.
Will we ever rise as a people?
Abortion. You name it. It's set against the children of the Most High.
Since 1865. We have experienced little, no change.
Enjoy this. This is really good.
Sure.
Get something out
of
of it.
That have made it to the top. Well, that's what they thought. But most go to the grave, broke, busted, and disgusted.
That's right. Come on.
Passing on nothing to the next generation. They do pass on something that's gone before you know it. I ain't really talking about superficial wealth like paper money. I'm talking about stuff with real value. You know, land and gold, silver, real estate. Stuff with real value, you see. I think we've been tricked. Everybody else gets damn near a whole pie, while we all have to share one slice. And we fighting over that. Something just don't seem right.
That's right. Come on now.
Even our brightest and best get to shake down.
It's time to wake up, Black America. Better wake
I've never
up.
seen a group of people like my people who seem to be running on a track. But the path gets longer, rougher, and harder to run on. I feel like we've been climbing a mountain with ice boots on for a long time now, but this mountain is fighting against us. We're getting more steep and taller with each step. When I look around, I see
the American government
hopelessness in
agenda
their eyes.
is set up to hold you down, to hold you back.
What she is sharing is the amount of hopelessness that Black people have in America, really.
That's right.
No matter what you do or how much hard you try, you will never ascend anything because it's set up to keep you suppressed.
That's right. You don't have
Eyes of my people everywhere.
You got to know the truth.
Hopelessness turns into rage sometimes.
If you don't want truth, then stay
Even
where you are.
madness.
That's all. Huh?
Heavenly Father, where are you?
No, Josh, it's not just even about money. It's about dignity and knowing who you are.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
It seems like our problems are piling one on top of another. No real change in sight.
Hope we don't complain, Tony. Don't say
And we
nothing,
think
man.
the change is coming. It gets further and further away
Look how
from
the
us.
Most High people live in, Tony.
From day to day, we seem to be wandering around in wonderland, not knowing what's real and what's illusion. And some of us choose to exit the
I gotta
matrix.
say this about even the
We are
house
met
niggas, they
with
don't care about
resistance
their
by
own people.
those who enjoy their delusion.
Get up.
We have a real enemy that is constantly fighting us in a desperate attempt to utterly destroy us. But we're so blinded by lies that our minds even pity our own enemies. Tripped out thing about it is that we turn the fight on one another.
See?
And the fight is in full swing. All my life I had to fight. I had to fight my bosses. I had to fight my enemies. I had to fight this system. But I ain't never thought I had to fight amongst my own people.
That's it. There you go.
I loves my people. Yah knows I do. But I'll walk away before I let them keep me down. What will our end be if we continue down this path?
I don't understand song, but you're too rich.
You see the horror. You see what the government wants. This is what they want. You are the most precious people in the world, and look what you're doing. And you think freaking education is going to help you? They're fighting in the school.
I always thought that curses could only be put upon an individual.
More cops came rushing the house, And I'm laying there screaming, asking somebody to help my granddaughter because he just shot her in the head. And he wouldn't need to help her. They turned on the light and seen that she had been shot and killed out the house. Oh!
I never thought an entire race of people could be cursed. From person to person, generation to generation. I look around and I see the curse of generational curses upon the so-called black race.
And some of the questions that were asked about the black race, can I just add my 2 cents? Now, I know something about black people because I was raised around black people.
Yeah, what?
I'm a white guy, I think. My family, you never really know. You just show up at the hospital and take whatever color comes.
See how these people make fun of see how these people get a grandstand to make fun of the children of Israel?
Okay.
But there's been Satan has tried to destroy the black race for many, many years. I will tell you why, my opinion. I was telling Brother Bill about that in the back. I am an avid student of reading. I have a phenomenal library.
I bet he does, and I bet he knows.
I bet he don't even know.
On a subject you can think of.
No, he knows.
He knows, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
And beside the Bible. And I realized, and I studied a lot of different nationalities and creeds, and I found that the only race that ever did this was the black race. That we're in slavery for over 400 years. Yet they have such a terrible thing today on black violence. You see it.
What's the answer?
What's the answer, Jesse? What's the cure?
A young black man's going to die. Somebody going to get shot.
Don't listen to this man. I hope you don't listen to this man on TV.
Such
He's a fucking devil.
Black people for black people. And then when I studied, I began to realize that for 400
years, they talk
years,
about the problem, but they never bring a solution.
And the black woman was put in slavery. You were hung, burned, raped, shot, stolen from. Yet it's the only race that sang Amazing Grace while it happened.
In other words, you're so brainwashed and you love your oppressor, you'll sing to him.
That's
and
what
these people, the people here, the audience, they're laughing at black people.
And that's what they're really doing. And this is why we're showing you this.
Never blame God. Still taught your children about Jesus Christ and Him crucified.
And that's a phony God.
Or you will be raped, put on fire, destroyed. The only race that literally said, we will not blame God for this terrible tragedy.
No, He put it on them.
Something amazing.
Stop it. Tell him, Josh.
Wonderful spirituals.
Tell him who did it, Josh.
Because Satan knew there was great talent given to the black race. And he thought he could destroy you by burning you, hanging you, killing you, denying your children education, everything you could possibly think.
The Most High did this to His people because they wouldn't obey.
Giving God glory. You still kept singing Amazing Grace. Still teaching your children. So He said the only way you can destroy this race is from within. And now His last bastion of what He's trying to do is cause you to hate each other. But I'll tell every black man, woman, boy, and girl, if you go back to singing Amazing Grace, he's going to go to hell. You will quit killing each other. If you go back to your ancestors that refused to deny God and His grace, then this junk will stop. I'm Jesse Duplantis, and I approve this message. Hallelujah.
And they clapped, and he brought no solution.
The mind of the so-called black man and woman has been raised worldwide. Even our acceptance of the label black gives credence to a diminished capacity or existence in a white world. When you look at how the word black is even defined, it means sinister and evil, soiled, dirty, and all kinds of evil stuff. In contrast to what it means to be white, which means pure, clean, unsoiled, and all of the good stuff you see. But this subtle sorcery is the very reason why we have so much self-hatred in the so-called Black or African American community. We came to this country in physical chains, but now the descendants of our former slave masters have us in mental chains. They're messing with our minds, y'all, and they have it on lockdown. Nothing we say or do is ever good enough. If we choose to look like ourselves, wearing our afros or braids or locks or waves, we're demonized, marginalized, and penalized. If you choose to wear traditional tribal clothes, you're looked upon like a non-conforming idiot. Cultural pride is not allowed and is labeled divisive.
You're the only people in the country that have no communities. I can drive down here that Tom Sampson took me last night. I got to the Universal Studio. Riding down the expressway, all I see, Tahiti Town, Little Korea Town, Japan Town, Chinatown. I said, where in the hell is Black Town? He told me, he said, I can take you to it. He took me down to Central City, and it's called, what was it called? Skid Row.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
So in other words, what are we saying? As long as they sing Amazing Grace, everything's okay.
And thou shalt not lend to
you,
him.
You get that, Tony? You hear that?
He shall be the head,
devil, the planet,
and thou shalt be the tail.
I said, please wake up, Black folk. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of Black folk not doing right. Just please, quit hating each other. Hate each other. Well, I can't get along with him because I never feel like that nigga. Who cares? I'm not asking make love to them and have babies. I'm saying take care of it.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
You either play as a team or you lose by default. Basketball, football, and baseball are team sports. And Black folk are the only one that want to play as a team. I got people who won't come out, they want to practice, they want to curse.
See how much he loves them, Tony? See what he allowed to happen to them? If you tell a Christian that, he'll say, how's that love? He said, that's love. Judgment is love.
And thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him naught.
Come on, that's the house nigga.
And he cry unto Yahuwah against thee, and it be sin unto thee.
They see one of the old men running on that side, running with the ball, they'll just tackle him. I call them into a huddle like this to get together, plan some strategies. Guess what they do? First thing they run out and tell the news. I know them niggas up. I'm gonna tell you. You can't win if you don't play as a team.
Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh from between her feet, and toward the children which she shall bear.
I am tired, y'all. I spent my whole life fighting Black folks. Something I said, maybe I went the wrong way myself.
We as a people are clueless. We act shocked when we hear about Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman being acquitted, or Michael Brown's killer not even being charged. Time and time again, this country have shown you what to expect from them. We are in La La Land.
We're in another land, we're in another land. I never want to leave this place. We're in another land, we're in another land. I feel like I'm lost in space. I spend all day wasting my time. I just want to lose my mind. We're in another land, we're in another land. I really don't.
And that song, that little child song, has a lot of meaning to it. Black people are asleep in just the way they want them, and a lot of them love to have it so.
That's right.
They love to be in La La Land.
Yeah, just.
I really don't want to
listen to Josh. Don't take this picture as something else you're watching to mean that.
That's how a lot of these
That's what they want you
walk
like
around.
Mm-hmm. Come on, say it, Josh. You're in La La Land. You're in a dream. You really wish you weren't here.
Video games, cell phone, texting, Facebook, YouTube, fun. It's like a double line. It feels like I'm losing my mind. We're in love, we're in love. La 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 land. We're in love land. We're in love land. La 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 land. La 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 la.
Just look at the so-called black community. It's obvious that there's something wrong. Just go to any so-called black neighborhood, and I'm quite sure that there's a street called Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Why does it always look so ghetto? Young men walking around with their pants sagging, hanging out in the streets, wasting time doing nothing, groping around in the noonday. It's not a coincidence that there are drugs in our communities and a liquor store on every corner. No jobs, but poor choices of food because there are cheap fast food restaurants on every corner.
Wow.
You were making fun of the black people.
Why is this? We are being systematically slaughtered. Our health is deteriorating, and all we can think about is a McDonald's hamburger. Our African American leaders are chip off the old master's block and help to maintain white supremacy over our people.
These two devils.
They are too scared to rise against this system. And can you blame them?
So-called black people are the most spiritually connected people on the planet. You know, the Bible says that if my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and forgive their sin and heal their land. But see, the problem is the so-called black man and woman don't know who they are. A lost identity is a loss of spiritual consciousness. The Bible tells us to be not conformed to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of our mind.
That's right. Come on,
but we have conformed to the likeness and the image of a people that are spiritually dead. We need to be revived. It is high time for us to awake out of our sleep. It's time to wake up, y'all.
Pretty rebellious. I was involved in the drug trade, drug addiction. I've been shot and stabbed. My head was broke, so never wanted to back down, you know. And, kids were in foster placement.
Byword and proper.
Psalms 44, verse 13 through 15. You make us a reproach to our neighbors, a scoffing and a derision to those around us. You make us a byword among the nations, a laughing stock among the peoples. All day long my dishonor is before me, and my humiliation has overwhelmed me.
All right, we know it's the dinner hour, so here is an appetite buster alert, shall we say. Two Waffle House workers in Forest City, Arkansas are busted for doing their hair in the restaurant's kitchen in front of customers. That video is going viral.
Well, WRG's Michael Quander went to Arkansas to talk with the man who shot the Weaves and Waffles video.
A couple of Forest City Waffle House customers say they got more than they expected with their meals.
It was just coughing, making noises like that.
Antonio Robinson says his friend found hair in his food early Friday morning.
When I looked up at him, he went to pulling out strings of hair out of his mouth.
Well, he saw this moments later and started recording on his cell phone.
She dipped her head down in the pot, and when it came back up, she was drying it off with one of the towels.
Health inspectors confirmed the video shows two Waffle House employees doing hair in the same place food is cooked for customers.
I see people do that in the houses and things like that, but for a restaurant, I don't know.
Well, St. Francis County health inspectors tell me they're launching a full investigation into this video. They tell me anytime hair is done in the kitchen of a restaurant, it is a health violation. We took the problem straight to the store's manager. He wouldn't let our cameras inside, but told WREG the employees in the video were fired.
I mean, is that acceptable at all?
Not acceptable. That's why we terminated.
Were you outraged at all when you saw it?
I was embarrassed. Yeah. That's all I think here. That's all I can say.
We were sent to the company's corporate offices in Atlanta, where a spokesperson said, "We do not tolerate these behaviors and strive to provide a clean, safe environment for all of our customers."
And people can, learn from this and be clean everywhere, keep people from getting sick.
Reporting in Forest City, Michael Quander, WREG, News Channel 3.
The WREG just obtained a copy of the health inspection report from this afternoon. The business passed. Investigators only noted that floors needed to be cleaned underneath cooking equipment.
This morning, crowd control was needed at a Houston area mall. Hundreds of people were lined up to secure their purchase of the new Air Jordans, and some of them got a little aggressive. Police had lots of manpower on hand to control the crowds. Level 2's Melissa Hawks joins us live now from Willowbrook Mall with more. Melissa.
Courtney, this crowd dispersed about an hour and a half ago, but when we first came out here this morning at the height of this, there was about 500 people here lined up right behind me.
Don't you think for 1 second that just hit the planet?
That was just at one of the
cares about anybody but himself, that man.
So, we're back.
Wow.
So,
depressing. There is. It's just sad.
We understand that what has the systemic, systemic problems that have gone on from slavery to now that is the product of this behavior amongst the children of Israel in the ghettos and wherever they may live in America. It's systemic. The hatred, the lack of respect for one another, the worshiping of the oppressor. It is a systemic issue that only the Most High, only if, like in the video we just seen, the clip we just showed, if his people will repent and turn, he will heal them.
Now remember, he says, white people use this scripture. It's not for them. He says, if my people, which are called by my name, Yashayah, Ahayah, bahashem, Yashayah, will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, he'll heal. He'll bring you back to where you belong. But like you heard today on these videos, most black people don't want to hear the truth. They are happy being a house nigger, going along with the grid, the American grid, and the American society.
And the Most High didn't make you to work for any. He made his people to rule, not to be servants.
That's right.
That's why no matter how successful a black person may be, there's always a sense of emptiness or lack of
that spiritual disconnection is not connected. There's a spiritual connection from you, Afro-American, Hispanic, all the tribes to the Most High. But that's been broken. It's time to come back and connect.
So we understand, as I just said, the systemic problems that persist in the black community. And as we read from Psalms 10, 6 to 10, about how the wicked sit in a high place and they lurk and they watch how you live and how you operate, and they use their knowledge not to fix your problems, but to drive you deeper down into them.
That's right.
So because sin is a profit to the longer they can keep you down and disconnected from your knowledge of yourself.
That's right.
They can continue to prosper and use you to build their falling system.
That's right.
Or to keep you involved in a falling system.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no more building in this nation. America is dead. It's done with. It's finished.
And if you're thinking that it's going to go on, like you've been told in your churches, everything's going to be okay, it's not.
So, again, just think about it. How would you feel if you had a group of people that plotted and planned and plotted and planned and plotted and planned to hold you back as a group?
Mm-hmm. Come on.
And they did whatever they could to sow discord in your communities.
That's right.
To put drugs and crime and whorish music that will turn your women into whores. And then
come on,
they put abortion clinics in it so they can kill your children. How would you feel if that was you? How would you feel if no matter what you did, your community would never improve because your enemy's hand is all over, all in your community. He controls it.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Josh.
And they don't care if you live or you die. Either way, they make money off of you.
That's right. Live or die, they make money off you. That's all they care about. You're just a dollar bill. Until you rise above, and do the research and find out who you are.
See,
and take your rightful place.
That thing was we showed you just now, and I want to make a quick remark about Jesse Duplantis and the comments that he made.
He might have took that wrong, Josh. Go ahead.
When Jesse Duplantis said that he has a vast library and he's a student of knowledge and history. Okay, so he knows exactly why. Remember, like I said, all the people that are plugged into their whenever Esau sets up a system, he makes sure that the people that lead his system know the secret knowledge that the sheeple aren't supposed to know. So Jesse Duplantis knows the truth.
Oh yeah, he knows who you are.
So he knows the truth, and what he was saying is he was pretty much mocking black people. He was making them a laughing stock.
They were laughing, weren't they? You heard the video.
He was saying, essentially, we've done a good job controlling these Negroes. I mean, we do all this evil to them, and they still sing the songs we give them.
That's what he was saying.
We do all this evil to them, but they come to us for spiritual education. We do all this evil to them, but they still let us educate them. And you know, and see what he said. The solution is just keep worshiping. In other words, stay unaware and worship and sing. Stay asleep and docile and just sing.
Stay beaten down, but just sing. The word said just the opposite. How can we sing a song in a strange land?
So, and that shows you the mind of the Christian clergy, the elite Christian clergy.
That's where it's coming from.
They have Jesse Duplantis, like he said in the clip. He has a giant library in his house, a house that he stole money to buy, 35,000 square foot mansion. Again, 35,000, not 3,500, 35,000. You can't even wrap your mind around that, a building that big.
Wow.
Right? So.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. You got to be careful what you hear.
Like I said, when we start, and I'll go pull the point out, when we started earlier.
I'd love to stay in chat, but you're a total bitch.
And we read out of, out of Psalms. See, these people put the people they want over you to keep you controlled, to keep you in a receptacle, docile state where they can continue to control and never give you the solution to the answer.
There you go. That's right.
See, Jesse Duplantis, I guarantee you, all these religious leaders, these elite religious leaders, have the information that we have. They have all the information. They know the solution to fix black people, but it's in their financial interest to not to give it to you.
That's right.
Because who's the biggest funder of religion, Christianity? Black people and Hispanics. So if they give you the answer, their religion will collapse upon itself, because they can't have it without you in it. Just like America, if black people pulled all their money out of America, it would collapse this second.
If they did that the next 2 days, America would collapse.
But they say God has not seen. God,
He's forgotten.
He's forgotten. He has hidden his face. He will not see it.
Right.
We will not come. Just sing Amazing Grace and sing Jesus Loves You. Sing these songs while we kill you, and smile like a dumb little sheep.
While they're ruling over you.
Led to the slaughter.
That's it.
And I don't mean to insult anybody,
no.
But it's la la land. It really is. That's what it is. Like when we sing the black guy, the song being sung with the black guy in the picture, looking asleep,
the brother, yeah,
with a gaze look on his face. That's how black people are. They walk around
la la land
with a asleep, like Isaiah says. They are made drunk with a wine of sleep, of deep sleep.
They're not drunk on wine. They stagger.
He has shut their eyes, their spiritual knowledge.
They can't see.
And again, pray. We're gonna try to acquire some more books so we can bring some deeper understanding. Again, everyone try to acquire post-traumatic slave syndrome, because that's the next book we're going to try to acquire this month. And I want to go back to the Jesse Duplantis clip. We know that Jesse Duplantis is most likely Jewish, but
they changed their name.
See the mindset of these white people. They don't care about you. They sit back in their private sanctuaries and they laugh at you. That's what he was essentially doing. He was making fun of you, and you don't realize it.
You are derision.
When these white people, these elite white people around each other, they make fun of you. They say, "Look at these stupid black people. We've been doing all this evil to them, and they still." I mean, we can't be this smart to do all this evil to them, and they still worship us. I mean, they can't be that stupid. And it's not that they're stupid. We've just done a fantastic job of stringing lie after lie after lie and spoon feeding it to them. You know, look at what we built. There's no way this can fall. There's no way that we can come into adversity. There's no way that our kingdom will fail.
Well,
we've done such a great job of building it, and since the only people that God can use to destroy us don't care, why should we worry about our system, our kingdom falling? So we'll just carry on the system, the religious system as is. There's no reason for us to worry unless Israel starts to awake.
That's right, but that's right. I'm just going to say this.
And all praises to the Most High that the children of Israel are reclaiming what has always, give me the Bible.
That's right.
What has let me see that. What has always belonged to them.
The Bible. That's right.
This is not a religious Christian European book.
That's right.
This is an Israelite book, and it's time for you Christians to give them their book back. To give them the Bible back that has never been your book. Not saying that you can't be redeemed through reading it, but you're not reading about you. You're reading about the children of Israel, who are the Negroes and Hispanics.
That's right.
This is their book.
All over the world.
This is their book. This is their book. So, like I just said, they can just sit back and mock at you and laugh at you. Well, look at what we've done to these people. Hey, hold on. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at what we've done. These stupid people really think by coming to us they're going to get the answer, when they've always had the answer. But we've done such a good job.
That's why
we can just sit back,
wake up,
and look at them self-destruct.
Tell them to get the books, Dalton, Josh. Get these books. These books are going to help you tremendously to know who you are. This is the third book. Yeah, we have 3 volumes. All right, we have. This is the first book. Hebrews to Negroes. And here's the second one. Show them, Jack. No, That's it. Hebrews to Negroes 2. That's a little better one. And this is the third one. You got to get these books. Because if you don't get these books, this brother is right on, I'm telling you. And we came into understanding before him. Not too long before him. But this is a confirmation of what we've been ministering to the last 6 years.
So again, try to get that. We're going to try to require that book, the post-traumatic slave syndrome book. You can get it for $15.45 on Amazon.
It's really time for you to wake out of your sleep.
Get that book, and we're going to get it. And when we get it, we're going to bring some information from it as soon as we read it, as we've always done. So until later on today, before the sun sets,
Shalom.
Shalom.